Let's talk about 3 ways that your credit cards are trying to keep you in debt. And by you knowing, you can go around them and get out of debt even faster. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Debbie and I am a money coach, and I love sharing tips and tricks on how you can save money, get your budget on, pay off your debt, and live your best life. I'm like fired up. Can you see the color of my face? I just finished going live on Instagram, which if you guys are not following me on Instagram, the handle's right there. And I am so fired up because the way that credit card companies are trying to keep you in debt is not only should it be illegal, but it's sleazy. I'm just going to say it. It's sleazy. And I've covered one of these tips in my last video, but I feel like it needs to be resaid because sometimes when you hear something for the first time, you might not grasp the gravity of it, but when you hear it again, you're like, wait a minute, did she just say that? So I'm like, yes. So the first way is by increasing your interest rates without you knowing. Not only without you knowing, it's without you knowing because they don't want you to know. They're not even listing the interest rates on your statements anymore. Some companies are not even listing it online. You have to actually call them to find out what your interest rates are. That's sleazy to me. I'm sorry, but to me, that's sleazy. They used to have to send you that little pamphlet that looked like you needed a magnifying glass to read it, and nobody that I know read it, including me, but at least you knew that that meant that something was going to change in your agreement with your credit card company. And then you could call or go online and figure out what it was, whether any fees that had gone up, a late fee, anything like that. But what they're doing, honestly, to me, it should be illegal. One of my clients went from a 14.99% interest rate on her card to 25.99%. That's not like 1 or 2%. That's a huge increase. And that increase, had she continued to make the minimum payments, would have cost her an extra $6,000 out of pocket. $6,000 on a $13,000 balance. So $13,000 that she charged, right? Well, with other interest. And now that increase was going to cost her that $6,000 extra out of her own pocket. And again, they don't want you to know they're doing that. My clients across the board have seen an increase from 6% to almost 10% on their interest rates. That can cost them between $4,000 and $10,000 on interest alone. That's why it's so important to know your numbers. That's why it's so important to stay on top of your credit cards. Every so often, call them, ask them, what's my interest rate? Because if they're doing this behind your back, it's for a reason. It's because they want to make every cent they can off of you. And I'm not a credit card hater. They hate me because I help my clients save so much money on interest alone. But I am not a credit card hater. I use them for the rewards because I'm credit card debt free, because what I charge is planned in my budget. I have a budget that fits my lifestyle. I didn't have to change my lifestyle for my budget. And that's why it works. And that's why my clients see so much success, because they don't feel limited. They don't feel restricted. They can still live their life. They can still pay off their debt, and they can still continue to save money. That's how I use my credit cards. I use it for the rewards. At the end of the month, my bill comes in. I'm not surprised with anything that I spent because I knew exactly what I was going to spend because it was in my budget. I pay it off completely and I reap the rewards. I saw this increase across the board with my clients. It's what inspired me to create my first free masterclass that's called What Your Credit Card Companies Don't Want You to Know. It's completely free. I only have a few spots available, and the link to register is down below. The second way that they're keeping you in debt is, again, they're not telling you that they're raising your interest rates, but they are telling you that they are increasing your limit. Of course, right? Makes sense. Let's not tell them how much interest they're going to pay, but let's tell them how they're going to have a bigger increase, right? A bigger spending limit. So now you're like, oh my gosh, I have an extra $5,000, $10,000. Amazing. But you don't know what's costing you because they're not telling you. And also, if you have spending habits that are negative, that you have in place, that most people don't even know that they have it. One right off the top of my head is emotional spending. If you're an emotional spender, we all have bad days. We all have days where we just want to hide under the blanket and not come out, where everything goes wrong, where you feel like you're either going to get fired or you're going to quit, whether, your family is on your last nerve, whether everything is going wrong, a family tragedy, name it. What do you do when you're an emotional spender? You go on Amazon, you go to the mall, you go online to your favorite department store and you shop. If you know that credit card A, for example, in your wallet, they've just given you a $10,000 increase in your limit, and I'm just throwing numbers out. Are you going to use that one, or are you going to use credit card B? You're going to use credit card A because you're like, oh, I've got extra cash on this one, I'm going to use this. Not realizing that, again, without you knowing what your interest is, now you've given yourself more of an opportunity to get further into debt. And once you're in debt, it's harder to get out when you don't have a plan in place that works. So they are telling you that they are raising your limit for a reason. And the third way is with credit card rewards. Now, wait, don't come at me. You're going to leave comments down below like, wait a minute. Didn't you just say that you use your credit cards for the rewards? Yes, I do. But I'm credit card debt free again. And I think that's important to say, because when you are tempted to spend to begin with, or spend without a plan in place, a budget that works for you, you're going to use the credit card that either gave you that limit increase or has the best rewards. I know off the top of my head which credit card in my wallet is giving me 5% cash back on all groceries, gas stations, and restaurants. 5% back is a big reward. Cash back is always, if you ask me, the best one, unless you travel and you want to use the points. But the best reward that literally gives you cash in your wallet is cash rewards. Now, I'm talking positive about the rewards, right? Here we go. If I were to tell you, send me $1,000, and then when I get it, I'm going to give you 50. How many of you guys are going to send me that $1,000? Leave it in the comments. How many of you are going to do that? Nobody, right? Nobody's going to do that. You're going to be like, yeah, right. But that's what a 5% cash back is. For every $1,000 that you spend, it's $50. $50 doesn't even fill up my gas tank, unfortunately. 85 does now. It was 100, so I'm happy about that $15 I'm saving. But still, that's what rewards really add up to. Now, if you have a budget in place and you use your credit cards on items that you know you've planned ahead, even if it's a restaurant, on a date night, it's part of my budget. So I'm not overspending by using the credit card that gives me the 5% cash back on restaurants. But when you are in credit card debt and you are tempted in your mind, it's like a subconscious trick, right? If I spend, I save. If I spend, I get cash back. But per $1,000, and that's if you have a 5% cash back. I have a Capital One card, which I really do like Capital One, but I have a Capital One card that only gives me 3% cash back at restaurants. And I have another one in my wallet that gives me 5. So if I use the 5, because it's a big reward, right, considering, I'd still have to spend that $1,000 to get the $50 back. When you think about it that way, is it really cash back? Or have I been tempted to overspend in order to get back what really could result in pennies? Again, this is why I have been inspired, because I see what my clients go through. I hear your comments. When you leave a comment in my videos, I really take it to heart. I understand what you're going through because I've been there. And I know we all have different troubles, different financial paths, different financial debts. I was in $48,000 of credit card debt. I know what credit card debt can feel like. It can feel like literally the day I hit that last send payment, I felt like I lost 20 pounds. It can really take a toll on you emotionally. It can take a toll on you with your family, in your marriage. I help couples with my money counseling. I help individuals with my money coaching. That's what inspired me to create this masterclass. And again, it's completely free. And if you want to know what your credit cards are doing to cost you more money and keep you in debt, the link is down below. If you think these 3 tips is everything, you're wrong. You're wrong. I cover so much, including credit card debt, which was my last video. So if you guys have any questions for me, feel free to reach out to me. If you follow me on Instagram, send me a direct message. My email is also down below if you have any questions for me. And again, thank you guys so much for watching. If you know anyone who is in credit card debt or uses their credit cards without a plan, please forward this video to them. I want to get the message out of what they're doing so that the more we're informed, the more that we can go around these strategies and pay them off quickly. And if you guys want to have a money conversation with me, I offer a free 30-minute call. So click the link down below and schedule your call. Again, judgment-free, no pressure. I want to answer your questions and see if you're a good fit for my one-on-one private money coaching. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.